There's no denying that The Simpsons is a shell of its former self. Of course, there is that famous YouTube video talks about the most recent, anything after what, season 8 or 7 as Zombie Simpsons, where jokes got lazy and it just became like this algorithmic output of a television show. You could say that basically of any of these kind of shows, a Family Guy. I'd argue American Dad's holding up a little bit better on their later seasons, but even Bob's Burgers I think is still okay. But The Simpsons really, they had the biggest fall because they were just so popular, and then they became so bad. And then over the past 5 years, they've decided to get woke by doing several like PSA announcements with Lisa and Marge, and making sure that they make everyone aware that they don't like Drumpf and all this kind of stuff. I think I could see this happening, but now they've bent the knee to China and turned their back on Hong Kong, which is unforgivable. Before I get into that, I want to give a huge shout out to this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. You'll thank me later. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Hey, October is Cybersecurity Month, and they've got an amazing offer for you. It's 2021. If you don't have a VPN yet, there are several reasons why you'll want to sign up today. One, you can browse anonymously. Keep your browsing habits to yourself. You can keep your data away from big tech so that they can't resell it. And you can access region-locked content so you can open up a whole new catalog of online content to enjoy, whether it's anime or movies that might not be available in your area. You can get at it using a VPN. And the VPN I use on my phone, my tablets, my PCs, and my laptops is Private Internet Access, and they've given an amazing offer. It's just $1.98 a month with 4 months free with a 3-year subscription. If you haven't signed up today, use my link in the description or pinned comment down below to get Private Internet Access today. Hey, VPNs are extraordinarily helpful when wanting to view content that is region locked and other purposes. So if you don't have VPN, the one I use is Private Internet Access. Now, this isn't the first time that there's been censorship on The Simpsons. Of course, we have Weekend at Burnsies, which is the Homer medical episode, which has kind of a hilarious opener where crows peck out his eyes and stuff like that. That was pretty funny. Then he gets a prescription and starts hanging out with Otto, the bus driver, and all sorts of stuff like that. Then you have Banksy's provocative couch gag in Money Bart. You see here one of the many more exciting changes made during the most recent seasons of The Simpsons involves guest animators getting to come in and provide a personalized touch on the show's iconic opening couch gag. Many incredible talents have come in to inject the show with new styles and visuals, but one of the most memorable experiments was without a doubt The Simpsons hired graffiti artist Banksy to do an opening. The controversial anti-corporate artist is given a surprisingly long leash with his. The sequence features a staggering amount of Korean sweatshop workers slaving away on The Simpsons while America continues to make money and prosper from the title. It's an incredibly jaded, pessimistic slant on the American animation industry, but apparently Banksy wanted to go even further with all this, but had to accept minor concessions to his vision. Reportedly, his intense storyboards led to animation delays and even accusations of the department walking out, but Al Jean assured that they were simply exaggerated rumors. There's Homer's phobia, of course, with the LGBT stuff, the jokes in Cape Fear that got censored, blame it on Lisa, and its depiction of Rio de Janeiro. There's all sorts of stuff that the show's done over the years that they've ended up removing or editing or changing, including we had not that long ago Disney removing the episode of Michael Jackson, which is he's like this mental patient who's white who thinks he's Michael Jackson, and it's actually a pretty good episode from back in the day. And it was a celebrity cameo. Now, unlike the aspect ratio with The Simpsons and Disney Plus, the choice not to include Stark raving dad in their otherwise complete 30-season selection isn't a matter of Disney Plus taking things into their own hands. In March of this year, Stark Raving Dad was removed from circulation, Blu-ray, DVD, box sets, streaming, and syndication in the wake of Michael Jackson's HBO documentary, which was wildly flawed as well. I'm not saying the guy didn't do anything. I'm just saying that documentary was garbage and is being sued. And I think they lost the lawsuit. You'd have to follow up on Razorfist for that. So, of course, we detail everything. So the only way to watch the episode now is to already have it on home video or find a copy made before the decirculation or piracy. Well, you can always watch it using your VPN. Of course, when it aired back in 91, it was 2 years before Michael Jackson was ever accused of anything, so it was what it was. I don't think that removing that episode does anything whatsoever. But now, the Simpsons episode featuring jokes about Tiananmen Square and the brutality of Mao Zedong pulled from Hong Kong Disney Plus. Now, what I would argue, what the correct response here would be is to remove the entire Simpsons catalog then. Because it's pathetic. Hong Kong audiences have reported that an episode of The Simpsons which made a number of jokes at the expense of the Chinese government, including one poking at their denial of the Tiananmen Square protest, has been pulled from their region-specific version of Disney+. See, now they can use that VPN to go watch it somewhere else. But anyway, as first reported by local news outlet Stan News on November 27th, users within the China government administrative region have discovered that the 12th episode of the series' 16th season, Goo Goo Gai Pan, has been pulled from the Hong Kong version of the Disney streaming service. According to a screenshot provided by Stan News, upon attempting to navigate to the episode, Disney Plus users in Hong Kong are met with the complete absence of the season's lineup, with the episode guide instead skipping to the 11th episode, On a Clear Day, I Can't See My Sister, directly to its 13th mobile homer. The episode, which sees the family take a trip to China in order to help Marge's sister adopt a local orphan, was ostensibly memory holed by Chinese censors due to its featuring of various jokes poking fun at the East Asian country's authoritarian government. By the way, this is via Bounding into Comics. The jokes include the assertion from Homer, made while standing over a deceased body of Mao Zedong, that the peaceful resting state of the late communist despot made him look like a little sleeping angel that ended 50 million people. A placard mocking the government's continued attempts to scrub the 1989 Tiananmen Square from people's memory. Then you have the Tiananmen Square on this site in 1989. Nothing happened. It's really sad to see how weak the Simpsons are now. Now, do the original creators of the Simpsons have any control over this? Probably not. You see here, visual parody of the infamous Tank Man, now images synonymous with the aforementioned events. While not featured as a part of the script or on itself, the episode may have also caused issues with censors due to its featuring of a map hung on the walls of the Chinese consulate in Springfield, which identifies Taiwan as a separate entity from China. It is, by the way, a reality which China's communist government continues to vehemently dispute. As of writing, Disney is yet to provide a full reason of the episode's removal. Well, they're weak. I mean, this is the same, by the way. This is back from March. The Simpsons asserts SJW is a term only used by right-wing trolls. Why is The Simpsons even talking about this stuff? The Simpsons really, I don't want the cultural references I think are fine, but like when they're too on the nose or too cringe, like it's just lame. Like Homer fighting Trump, or was it Peter Griffin fighting Trump? It was just dumb. Worshipping Obama, it's just cringe. And like The Simpsons, it sucks because I grew up with them. The Simpsons were so important to me. And if they can make stands on social justice issues like, making fun of pretending, no, SJW stands for social justice warrior, Lisa exclaims. That's a right-wing trolls call anyone who cares about positive social change. Lisa then turns to Marge. The other online petitions you supporters have backed without it include Build a Wall in the U.S., a National Day Without Seatbelts, and upgrade the Second Amendment to the First, which are all clear swings at the exaggerated interpretations of conservative beliefs. Again, this is what The Simpsons has become now. Just kind of political hackery. It's become a vehicle for, it's like what happened to The Daily Show. The Daily Show always leaned left, obviously, but now it's just become full on woke speak, like political church. And that's what all these shows seem to be headed towards. And so, you know, I've tuned out of The Simpsons a long time ago. But this is just yet another pathetic, you know, weak moment. They'll say this stuff, but when it comes to them losing money, when it comes to them having to put the rubber, you know, where the rubber meets the road, so to speak, they've got nothing to say. If you're the creator of The Simpsons, I would say Disney Plus leaves it on, or I'm not giving the rights to The Simpsons to Hong Kong at all. Or China, for that matter, actually. I'll leave it in Hong Kong. But they won't do that. They'll just talk about Drumpf, I guess. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.